Okay, currently cruising at 11,000 feet, headed to Richmond, Virginia, with a possible continuation flight all the way up to New York, depending on the fuel burn. There's a Delta flight that air traffic control is trying to reach Jacksonville Center. Trying to get a hold of Delta, but unable to reach them on the frequency. We're gonna keep an eye and see what's going on. We're monitoring 21.5, which is guard frequency on COM 1, and we got Jackson 3345. All right. You like Con Edison here? Okay, let's talk about stuff that you learned already. So, what's the stuff you learned already? You tell me. Well, classes of airspace. How's classes of airspace?
Okay, so we know golf.
Okay, let's talk about golf. We know golf. If you say we know golf, let's talk about class golf. What is the minimum cloud clearance at class golf airspace?
Minimum cloud clearance.
That's correct. Minimum cloud clearance.
I don't think I got the weather of...
To maintain VFR in class golf airspace, what is the minimum?
I think I know it's 500.
Delta 54 Jackson, been trying to get a hold of you. You ready for your airing freaks? Delta 54, radar services terminated. Contact New York Air Range. The primary frequency is 89er.
He's got a hold of Delta 54 now.
11330.
Got a hold of Delta 54. Finally got a hold of Delta 54. So minimum visibility and cloud clearance in golf. VFR, not IFR. VFR. IFR, no minimums.
Golf, minimum 500 feet below?
No.
That's what? That's echo?
Yeah, that's echo.
Alright, golf. I don't remember.
Golf, on control. Remember we got into Bayport? We did take off and landing at Bayport?
Right.
What was the cloud clearance we had?
300?
No, it was less than that. We were much
200?
closer. No, we were much closer to clouds.
We were in the clouds.
Yeah, not really in the clouds, but you know, we were like avoiding the clouds. We were like, you know,
right,
which is clear of clouds. So as long as you don't go into the clouds and you're clear of clouds, you're going to be okay in class golf. Hey, check, we can see the ground.
Yeah, it looks like we cleared.
Yep, I can see the ground.
So golf, you gotta just clear...
Clear of clouds. Just make sure you don't go into the clouds. That's the minimum you need.
And what about the statute miles?
What about visibility? That's my question to you in class golf. What's the minimum visibility?
10.
Nope.
3.
Less.
2.
Less.
1?
1 mile. 1 statute mile visibility in class golf.
So basically the lower statute miles of visibility, the more, the less stricter it is. They tell you you need 10 miles.
The more statute mile visibility, the less restrictive? I don't understand this.
No.
What are you trying to say?
The other way around. If I tell you I have 10 mile statute mile visibility, that means that I'm more restricted because I gotta see further out.
I don't think you're getting it. In class golf, the minimum visibility maintained VFR in class golf is 1 mile. So if you're 500 feet over the coast, over the ocean, give me, looks like a little bit on the navigation, maybe at 5 to 10 degrees left. If you're over the coastline at 500 feet in class golf, The minimum visibility you have to be is 1 mile. Flight visibility, statute miles, 1 visibility. If you're below 1 mile, you're IFR.
Gotta be IFR.
You gotta be IFR, class Golf. So if you want to depart in class Golf, uncontrolled airspace, visibility is half a mile, you gotta get IFR clearance before you depart. If it's 1 mile visibility, you can go. As long as you remain steer clear clouds.
But it's uncontrolled. What am I getting?
It's uncontrolled, but you're still gonna need your minimum visibility and cloud clearance because you're still VFR. Unless you're IFR. What about class Echo?
Affiliate.
We'll take a note. See if I have a piece of paper for you here.
I have a paper. I need a pen.
This is all in the books, by the way.
I don't have the books yet.
All in the books, all in the books, all in the books. Let me see if I got a pen for you. Yep, got a pen. There you go, got a pen. Red or doesn't matter. I take this one. This is black, I think.
Class G.
Class G, class Golf.
The minimum. What do we have? Minimum visibility.
And minimum cloud clearance.
Minimum cloud clearance. What else?
That's it.
Only 2 things in every
2
class?
things we have to operate in VFR, visual flight rules. 2 things we have to worry about. Visibility and cloud clearance.
VFR. Minimum visibility. And minimum clearance.
Cloud clearance.
Air Canada 0902 Jackson, roger.
So minimum class Golf. Minimum visibility.
Clear 855 Papa Tango Jax, roger.
1 statute miles.
1 statute miles.
Yes, sir.
Minimum cloud.
Clear of clouds.
Clear of clouds.
That's it.
Class Echo.
You tell me. I've asked you that question more than once.
Class Echo. Minimum visibility. 2 miles.
No.
What?
No.
Minimum visibility. 1 second. 3 miles.
3 statute miles. Very good. Write it down.
3 statute miles.
That's correct.
Minimum cloud clearance. You gotta be 500 below.
That's right.
1,000 above.
That's right. How many far distance horizontal from clouds? 2 what?
2,000.
2,000 feet. Excellent.
So 1 second. So class Echo. 3 statute miles minimum visibility. 500 below. 1,500 above. And 2,000 miles, statute miles?
2,000 feet horizontal distance from the cloud.
2,000 feet.
500 below, 1,000 above, 2,000 distance.
500 below, 1,000 above?
That's correct. 500 below, 1,000 above, 2,000 distance.
Class Delta.
Class Delta is next. Excellent. You tell me what's minimum visibility to operate in Class Delta VFR.
I didn't get this, so I don't know.
Same as Echo.
Everything is the same?
Everything's the same as Echo. 500 feet below, 1,000 above, 2,000 distance, minimum visibility, 3 statute miles.
Okay, class Charlie.
Same as Delta, class Charlie.
Same as Delta, same as... So they're all the same.
That's right, Charlie, Delta, Echo the same.
Class Bravo.
Class Bravo becomes a little unique because it's a little different. What's the minimum visibility for VFR traffic in Class Bravo?
What's the minimum?
Minimum visibility in Class Bravo, you tell me.
I don't know, I didn't study it yet.
3 statute miles.
3.
That is correct, 3 statute miles.
Clearance below cloud.
What about clearance from clouds at Class Bravo?
How much? But same?
It's clear of clouds.
There are clouds.
That's right. 3 statute miles visibility, clear clouds at Class Bravo.
And what about distance?
Distance from clouds?
Canada 092, I'm showing
Clear clouds. Just like Gulf. Clear clouds, but 3 miles, not 1.
About 50 miles, about 70 miles wide. Looks like the current route of flight keeps you east of most of the preset.
Class Alpha.
Class Alpha is a standard in Alpha. You tell me, what altitude is Class Alpha?
18,000 and above.
18,000 above.
What's the minimum visibility?
Minimum visibility in Class Delta is 3 miles.
3 miles? And also clear clouds? Or there is an IFR there?
On Class Bravo?
No, Class Alpha.
Class Alpha, no VFR traffic. Gotta be IFR. The aircraft has to be instrument certified, and the pilot needs to be instrument rated.
There must be instrument. Pilot and airplane must be instrument.
That's correct. Man, we're cruising. Let's see, we're up in the air for about 3 hours. And we got flight plan. It's doable. I'll tell you why. We're up in the air for 3 hours and 4 minutes. Republic is 4 hours away.
Canada 092 approved as requested, direct Curtis when able.
I've done 7-hour flights. Now don't forget, as we get closer to New York, we're going to have better winds, and we're going to be lighter. That means we're going to burn less gas and go a little bit faster. You'll see the speed increasing as you go to New York, so. But we'll see when we get to Richmond, Virginia, and then we'll look at our fuel burn, and then we can tell exactly how much further we can go. Any questions on airspace?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the question?
Now we're gonna do this class Alpha.
Class Alpha, remember, is above 18,000 feet, and it's only for IFR rated pilot and only for instrument certified aircraft.
Okay. Now, class Alpha is 18,000 and above, correct?
That's correct. 18,000 and above is Class Alpha airspace. Only instrument rules apply. You cannot fly above 18,000 feet VFR.
Class Bravo.
17,500 is the maximum altitude you can go VFR.
Class Bravo.
Class Bravo, minimum visibility 1 mile. Excuse me, 3 miles and clear of clouds.
No, the airspace. The airspace is 4,000 miles, correct? On standard.
4,000 miles. The airspace is 4,000 miles.
No, 4 miles. What am I saying?
4 miles. For Class Bravo?
4,000 feet, I mean. 4,000 feet from the ground. Class Bravo, you gotta be clear.
It depends. Some of them are 7,000, some of them are 10,000. Let's look at the chart for Orlando. Where's the chart? I got this
November
chart.
Papa Tango, clear to right, Opalaka.
May not be here on this map. Let me see.
Sunway 477 Jackson. I'm showing areas of moderate and heavy precipitation starting at the 12 o'clock and about 80 miles to the north.
There's Orlando. What's it saying?
Gotta clear 10,000.
10,000. Class Bravo, Orlando is up to 10,000. So if you want to fly above Class Bravo, you got to be at 10.5 VFR. Some Class Bravo are 7,000. For example, New York. The ceiling of Class Bravo in New Yorker is 7,000, so you could be at 7,500 and you're above Class Bravo.
How's your head?
What you thinking? My head is okay for now. I'm just kind of hydrating myself with regular soda.
I have a little headache. I don't know. I don't think it's because of thing. It's because I'm tired.
Look dehydrated, or you need to get a little bit lower. Maybe a little bit of a turn to the right, tiny bit turn right here.
I just did it.
Oh, you did good. Look at the fuel burn. What's it saying?
Still burn at what? 8 almost.
About 8.5 or so, maybe 9, rounded up to 9 gallons an hour. And we've been up in the air for how long? 3 hours. And we got how long?
4 hours.
4 hours left. So, at 9 gallons an hour.
Tango and showing areas of moderate to heavy precipitation along your flight for the next
9 gallons an hour.
20 miles. Deviate up to 20 degrees left.
That's 4 hour flight. It's about 36 gallons of gas. And we've been up for about 3 hours. 3 hours times 9 or even 10 for the takeoff and the climb. It's 30 gallons. So 36 plus 30 is 66 gallons. We have 80 gallons on board. So we can make it to New York with plenty of gas. But we're going to make another decision when we get a little closer to Virginia.
Virginia is... What? Richmond?
What's that?
This is Virginia? Alright. Romeo
Next
Delta,
one.
Romeo Delta.
Lima Victor Lima is Virginia.
Lima Victor Lima. That's another hour and 25 minutes.
Yep, and RDU is North Carolina. Alright, so let's talk about equipment requirements going into all these airspace we discussed.
Okay.
What kind of equipment are required in order to go into Class Golf airspace?
Gotta have a transponder.
No.
No.
Class Golf uncontrolled.
Oh, Class Golf. We don't need anything. We don't need anything.
When you say you don't need anything, what do you mean by we don't need anything?
No radio, no
No radio. Very good. No transponder. Do we have to establish two-way radio communication with air traffic control?
No.
Can we just take off and land, take off and land? Just know as long as we know we're doing it, that's it?
Correct.
Yeah. It's uncontrolled. Uncontrolled airspace or airport. Pretend like you have a private airspeed in the back of your house. You need to talk to a control tower?
No. I have an ear.
Do you need a transponder?
No.
No. Class Golf. Let's talk about Class Bravo. What is the instrument? And
Let me write this down. We're gonna go golf all the way up, alright?
you gonna do what?
Gonna write this down. We're gonna go golf all the way up to Class Alpha.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright, so golf. We need... What are the things that we need at Class Alpha, which is the highest? Gonna make a chart.
Class Alpha IST make a chart. Well, how's that chart gonna look like?
I'm gonna write radio, transponder C, transponder A. What else do we need?
Oh, you want to have the letters of the airspace and then see what's required, like a little table.
Yeah.
Okay. If that's what's easier for you to remember, that's okay. Go ahead and make a table.
Alright, so what are the things that we need at the highest level, which is Alpha, right?
Alpha, go ahead. Class Alpha.
Class Alpha.
Remember we said aircraft has to be instrument rated?
Right, so we need...
And aircraft and the pilot have to be instrument rated. So both aircraft and pilot need to be instrument rated in Class Alpha.
So we're gonna do instrument rated. Must. The pilot, then what's it called? What about radio?
Absolutely. Need to establish two-way radio communication with air traffic control with Class Alpha.
Radio. What about transponders? C mode.
Absolutely. Need a transponder with mode C to operate in Class Alpha airspace.
Or mode C. Also mode
November
B.
1 Romeo Mike, contact Washington Center 135.3.
135.31 Romeo Mike. Thanks for your help, sir. Good evening, Washington. Skywagon 1 Romeo Mike, 1000.
Chili 531 Washington Center, roger. Break November 1 Romeo Mike, Washington, roger. The Fayetteville altimeter 3007.
3007 1 Romeo Mike. 007 James Bond. My name is James. James Bond.
Okay. Also the transponder mode B.
Mode C. Mode C is a Mode C transponder that will actually give the controller an altitude of where you're at. This is a King KT76A, okay? This is a transponder. This is a Mode C transponder. It's giving the controller a location on the map, plus a squawk code right there, plus traffic return altitude, 108. It's also giving the controller the altitude you're in, so he knows your altitude. And Mode S is a SAM transponder.
What is that? That's an airport?
Yeah, it looks like a big factory.
This?
Oh, it's right behind us now.
I saw something restricted, no?
Restricted airspace? Let me see. No, this is R.
Private?
That stands for private airport.
Private. That's not that?
No, it's not that, no. Definitely not that. Usually private airports are dark at night, don't have lights at night, and it's very hard to see them because they're very, very small airstrips. Yep. What a beautiful flight. Now it looks like most of the weather is behind us, and we're in the clear, and we have a beautiful view of the whole Carolinas. And you're doing a wonderful job.
1 Romeo Mike, clear direct Richmond.
Come back to Richmond. 1 Romeo Mike. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Alright. That's why I like the controllers at night. Controllers at night give you all the shortcuts. That's why I like to fly at night. Okay, Richmond. Direct Richmond. Let's see how much time we're going to save. Richmond, 1 hour and 44 minutes. Direct. 1 hour and 41 minutes. We just saved 3 minutes. And 3 hours and 50 minutes to Republic. 473 miles to go. And Skywagon 1 Romeo Mike, looks like we may end up proceeding all the way to New York. We'll let you know when we're getting a little closer to Richmond. We're getting really nice tailwinds and really good fuel burn here.
Number 1 Romeo Mike, roger that, thanks.
You know what, go ahead and change our alternate airport. We have Raleigh Durham as an alternate. Let's go ahead and put the Foxtrot Romeo Golf as an alternate. We made the route further up.
Roger that.
Thanks, sir. Alright.
How do I set this?
Docking airspace, we're cruising along non-stop, Florida to New York, my friend. A little bit of weather here, a little bit of weather here, not much. And Richmond is 14.1. Because I used to fly in and out of Richmond. Let's see if I remember. Frequency 14.1 all the way. You hit enter. 14.1. Switch 14.1. 14.1. And that's your frequency. And this is Richmond. Kind of too far. Yeah, it's still too far. 200 miles away, forget it. This is usually range of about 50 to 100 miles. So Richmond is way up.
Attention all aircraft, hazardous with information. Director Sigmet 10 Eastern, valid until 0655 Zulu for Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. Coastal waters available on high watch, flight watches, flight service frequency.
You can delete all these checkpoints if you want. You could go flight plan, menu, stop navigation, delete everything, then direct Richmond. And then we can put Republic as the next airport. This way, we can tell how long it's going to take. Republic is 3 hours and 50 minutes. And we're going direct Richmond. So, I mean, we're already in Charlotte. And we did Charlotte in 3 hours and 20 minutes. So, the flight tonight is pretty good. We're getting nice tailwinds and pretty efficient. So I say just keep moving along. But let's finish your table. We talked about Class Alpha airspace. The minimum visibility for Class Alpha airspace is not applicable because you cannot operate VFR in Class Alpha.
No, no minimum space. So, transponder. Anything else that we need besides?
You need air traffic control. That means you need to establish two-way radio communication with air traffic control, and you need to have instrument-rated aircraft and instrument-rated pilot.
That's it?
That's correct.
Alright, Class Bravo.
Now, going into Class Bravo, what kind of equipment do we need in operating into Class Bravo?
We need a two-way radio.
And what kind of airman certification we need?
Pilot, private pilot.
Minimum private pilot, correct.
To be a student with endorsement.
A student with endorsement, that's correct.
And you gotta have a transponder.
Gotta have a transponder. Do you need a mode C?
Anything else?
Do you need mode C?
Anything else? That's it.
I'm asking.
Yeah.
You said you need a transponder. Do you need a transponder with mode C in Class Bravo?
Mode C, yes, yes.
Mode C is required.
Okay, so
Looks like we're drifting a little bit off course. Let's pick just 5 degrees. About 5 degrees left. That's it. What's the altimeter setting you got there on the altimeter?
we got 3007.
3007? I think that's what it is. Perfecto.
Alright.
Alright.
Class Charlie. Gotta have two-way radio.
Okay.
You gotta have transponder also, I think mode C, Charlie, right?
Charlie, you need to have a two-way radio communication with air traffic control. You gotta have a mode C transponder. That is correct.
Class Delta. Class Delta. Class Delta is the one that you don't need clearance for, right? Going through.
No.
Which
Is a Class Delta Airspace have a control tower?
it does.
It does. Do you need to establish two-way radio communication with an airspace that has a traffic control tower, air traffic control tower?
You do.
That's correct. You do.
You need a transponder mode C?
And you need a transponder with mode C. That is correct. No, you don't.
No, just a transponder.
In Republic, you need it. Because Republic is underlying mode C, Vale, for Kennedy.
You don't need, you just need a transponder, but not mode C.
In Class Delta, generally, you do not need a transponder. You need only to establish two-way radio communication with air traffic control. However, Republic Airport is underlying mode C. It's underneath Class Bravo. Since it's underneath Class Bravo in the mode C Vale, you need a transponder with mode C in Republic Airport.
So technically you don't need.
But technically you do not need a transponder in and out of Class Delta. There's only exceptions of Class Delta that's underneath Class Bravo that you need a transponder.
Class Echo. Must have a two-way radio.
Class Echo, do you need two-way radio communication?
Do.
No.
Control tower, they also have control, no?
It's controlled airspace, but you don't need air traffic control communication at Class Echo. For example, right now, we're going to be cruising VFR in Class Echo. Instead of 11,000, we're going to be 11,500.
Alright.
VFR. Do we need to talk to the control tower? Do we need to talk to air traffic control?
Right now,
Yeah, if we're VFR.
we're actually in Class Echo, so based on what you're saying, we don't.
Yeah, we don't. We can basically see and avoid. We can actually see and avoid traffic as we need. And not talk to anybody. We're talking to air traffic control because we're on a flight plan. It's safer. They can actually watch us on the radar and they can see where we're going.
And you definitely don't need a transponder mode C.
That's correct.
What do you need? Pilot.
You need a pilot to fly the airplane, and that's it. The student pilot can fly an Echo too. What else we got? Golf. We mentioned Golf before. We don't need to talk to anyone, and we do not need a transponder because it's uncontrolled airspace.
Covered.
Now, looks like you got your table. Let's talk about special VFR. What can you tell me about special VFR? What in the world is a special VFR? We're talking about visual flight rules. In Class Echo, it's 5 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 distance, minimum 3 statute mile visibility. In Class Delta, it's 500 below, 1,000 above, 2,000 distance, 3 statute mile visibility. But what is in the world is a special VFR clearance? What does that mean?
You get a special clearance from the tower?
Okay. What does that special clearance entitle you to do?
If, let's say, you are not supposed to enter a certain airspace, once you get clearance, you go in.
Once you are not supposed to get to enter an airspace, you're supposed to get clearance, you get in. And you go in the wrong way. Special VFR clearance is basically clearance to operate under visual flight rules at below visual flight rules.
Visual
Restrictions.
And I get this from the
A
tower?
special, you get it from the top. A special VFR clearance is a clearance from air traffic control to operate under visual flight rules at below visual flight rules minimums.
Below
And
or
let me
above? Or
below.
just below?
Below above what?
Below or above? Or just below?
When I say below VFR minimums, that means what is the minimum statute mile visibility Class Delta?
3.5.
3. It's not 3.5, it's 3.
Class Delta 3, sorry.
3 statute miles.
Correct.
SM is statute miles, okay?
Right.
Looks like we're drifting off course a little bit. Let's go swing it to the right, about 5 degrees. Get back on course to Richmond. So, special VFR clearance is a clearance to operate under visual flight rules at below visual flight rules minimums. So, in Class Delta, what's the minimum visibility to operate VFR in Class Delta?
3 statute miles.
3 statute miles. Excellent. What if the visibility is 2.5 miles? What do?
Gotta get clearance.
And that clearance to get you shy of that half a mile to still be legal in Class Delta is called a special VFR clearance.
Understood.